Behind the veil, Project Stormfury, the government's gambit to tame the tempest. The hook, fury from the skies, forged by human hubris. Envision a colossal vortex of rage, a hurricane barreling toward American shores like a vengeful titan, its winds a howling symphony of destruction. But what if the storm's fury could be throttled, not by prayers or prayers to the gods, but by a daring cadre of scientists plunging aircraft straight into its maw, unleashing a chemical cocktail to shatter its core? In the sweltering summers of the 1960s, as Cold War shadows lengthened, the U.S. government didn't just watch the tempest brew, they plotted to seize control. Project Stormfury, a clandestine crusade to weaponize weather itself, seeding hurricanes with silver iodide in a high-stakes poker game against nature. Success meant saving billions in ruin. Failure? A Pandora's box of unintended chaos. Did they bend the storm, or invite its wrath? The archives whisper of triumphs and terrors. Dive in. The eye of the truth is upon us. Section 1. Genesis in the Storm. The spark of audacious ambition. It begins in the thunderous aftermath of World War II, when the scars of nature's fury rivaled those of human war. Hurricanes ravaged coastlines, claiming lives and fortunes with indifferent savagery. Enter the National Hurricane Research Project, NHRP, in 1959, a bold brainchild of the U.S. Weather Bureau and Navy, hell-bent on unraveling the cyclone's secrets. Won their mandate? Probe formation, dissect dynamics, sharpen forecasts, and, in a leap that blurred science and sorcery, modify these behemoths to spare the innocent. 1. The Holy Grail. Disrupt the eyewall, that ferocious ring of updrafts fueling the storm's rage, by seeding it with silver iodide crystals, forcing supercooled water to freeze and spawn a rival convection band, diluting the hurricane's power like venom in a vein. The fuse ignited in 1947 with Project Cirrus, a precursor folly where dry ice dumped into a nascent storm veered it perilously toward Savannah, Georgia, aborting the mission amid lawsuits and suspicions of sabotage. 5. By 1961, the stars aligned. Hurricane Esther loomed, and DC-6 planes pierced her clouds, raining silver iodide into the beast's belly. Winds dipped 10%, a tantalizing tease 0. This success birthed Stormfury in 1962, a $20 million juggernaut fusing Commerce Department intellect with Navy muscle, directed by visionaries like Robert Simpson. No longer mere observers, they were storm tamers, armed with Lockheed WP-3D Orions, flying fortresses rigged for reconnaissance and seeding 14. The air crackled with possibility. Could man muzzle the maelstrom? Section 2. Into the Abyss. Methods of Madness and Mechanical Might. Picture the scene. A hurricane swells to biblical proportions, its eye wall a seething cauldron of 100-plus mph gales. Stormfury's pilots, stoic aces in the Navy's elite hurricane hunters, throttle into the chaos, engines screaming against the gale's grip. 3. Early runs were crude. Hand-dumped dry ice from 1940s experiments evolved into sophisticated silver iodide flares by the late 60s, rocket canisters and wing-mounted pyrotechnics firing crystalline payloads at precise intervals, every 2 hours, over 8 grueling hours. The hypothesis? Iodide nucleates ice in supercooled droplets, birthing a new rain band that siphons energy from the core, expanding the eye and slashing winds by 10 to 30%. 2 criteria for a target were merciless. Storms at least 500 miles east of the U.S., recurving northward, bereft of supercooled water bounties, ensuring natural dips could be pinned on the seeding 1 radar pierced the veil. Doppler scans mapped the frenzy, while onboard labs tallied thermodynamic havoc in real time. 3. From 1962 to 1983, they struck 8 times across 4 hurricanes, each sortie a knife-edge ballet of bravery and brilliance. 2. But beneath the heroism lurked hubris. What if the seeds took root not in weakening, but in unforeseen fury? If this chronicle of skyward skirmishes has you breathless, peering through the storm's deceptive calm. Subscribe to @BehindVeiled Truths now. We're unearthing the archives no one dares disturb. Your vigilance is the thunder that echoes. Back to the fray. Section 3. Triumphs in the Tempest. Echoes of Victory and Vanishing Hopes. The pinnacle pierced the clouds on August 23, 1963. Hurricane Beulah, a simmering Category 1, met an A3B Sky Warrior's silver salvo. Winds plummeted 20%, the eyewall fractured, a new band bloomed, and the beast recoiled. One elations surged, headlines hailed humanity's hedge against havoc. But Beulah was a whisper compared to 1969's Hurricane Debbie, the crown jewel of carnage control. Over 2 days, seedings hammered home. Day 1, gales cratered 31%. Day 2, 18%, a 1-2 punch aligning flawlessly with the model's malice zero. Pilots emerged from the maelstrom buzzing with vindication. Labs overflowed with data decoding the cyclone's capitulation. 9. 4 seedings yielded wind drops of 10 to 30%, chalked up as proof positive. Faulty flights or finicky storms explained the duds too, yet cracks spiderwebbed the triumph. In 1974, a botched seeding of Hurricane Fifi sparked outrage in Honduras, where floods claimed thousands. Officials cried foul, blaming the Yankee experiment for the WWII international treaties loomed. Ethics committees howled, and whispers of weaponization slithered from Havana. Fidel Castro fumed that Stormfury was Uncle Sam's scheme to hurl hurricanes at Cuba. 13. The glory days darkened. Had they glimpsed godhood, only to grasp at ghosts? Section 4. The Reckoning, Revelations that Raised the Dream. By the late 70s, the veil lifted on a cruel illusion. Unseeded hurricanes revealed eyewall cycles as natural as the tide. Concentric rebirths mimicking seedings' success. No silver sorcery required. 13. Radar revelations stung. Hurricanes brimmed with ice, starved of the super-cooled water iodide craved. Seeding was spitting into a gale 2 decades of data, $30 million scorched, yielded zilch in Modification Mastery 3. Project Stormfury shuttered in 1983, a casualty of science's sobering Civ 7, but from the wreckage rose unforeseen boons. P3 Orions became forecast sentinels, probing storms with precision that slashed prediction errors. Insights into rain bands and thermodynamics fortified defenses, turning defeat into a bulwark against future furies. 9. Stormfury's specter lingers, a cautionary thunderclap. In tampering with tempests, did they court catastrophe or merely graze the gods? The cliffhanger. Echoes in the eye. As 2025's hurricane season simmers, with climate's cauldron bubbling fiercer than ever, Stormfury's silver ghosts haunt the horizon. Abandoned, yes, but its blueprints buried in black-budget basements waiting for resurrection. Patents from that era pulse with untried potentials, and whispers of successors slink through the shadows. Was it folly, or the first feint in a forever war on weather? The archives ache with untold tales, and the next squall may carry their secrets. If this saga of storm chasers and shattered skies has you scanning the cumulonimbus for conspiracies, hammer subscribe on @BehindVeiled Truths. Like, unleash your theories below, and fuel the revelation. What's the next veil to vanquish? The winds are rising. Brace yourself.